Welcome to one of the many circle sessions hosted by Wonder Girls. Wonder Girls is a nationwide classrooms movement. We bring relatable female role models into classroom settings through our circle sessions. As you will see, the crux of these sessions is its dialogic nature. We're currently working with classrooms across 7 Indian cities and continuing to grow. Our aim is for every adolescent in India to have access to relatable female role models. I welcome you once again and hope you enjoy learning from our role models' life journey and career path.
So we are a bunch of students, 9th graders from Government High School Raj Bhavan, and we heartily welcome you here, Rutuja. And class, I will introduce Rutuja. Give me 1 second. I'll just share my screen. Right. Can everybody see my screen, class?
Yes,
right. So right. So Rutuja is a former international volleyball player, and she has represented our country and her team in various national and international arenas, and she has got so many achievements also under her belt. And now currently she is a doctor to be, and she also works with Jazz Hands Foundation to help children like us or children like you to get into better position with their English and with their communication skills. And thank you so much, Rutuja, for taking your time and joining us.
No, not an issue at all. It's my pleasure.
Right. I'll just kick off the questions with my question first. So
yeah.
We don't have a lot of information of you on the internet. So could you please give me a slight brief of what's your journey been like? Where are you from? What are you doing?
Okay. I'll just introduce myself. Basically, I'm Rutuja Baldota. My hometown is in Pune, Maharashtra. And I've done my 12th till there, like in Pune. And from there, I've shifted in Gujarat right now to pursue my higher education. And also, I used to play from like Pune and Maharashtra, but now I play from Gujarat because playing is all that matters. The state doesn't matter for me. So, like, yeah, that's it.
Great. Thank you so much, Rutuja, for that. And we'll open the floor for our kids to ask the questions. Aruna, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Hi, ma'am. This is Saruna. My question is...
Yes, Karuna, hi.
When did you...
It's just for fun, like in between breaks and all, nothing serious. But then my volleyball coach from my school just called me one day and asked me to play volleyball for a week. And he told me to continue only if I like, otherwise I shouldn't continue the sport. So then I tried for 1 week, I tried playing volleyball, but I couldn't actually play it because I was totally new to the sport. So gradually after then I started liking it, I started enjoying it, and I chose it as my passion and not as a career first of all. I used to like and enjoy being around with my teammates and all the players. So I started playing with them because I just wanted to be around. Badminton was an individual sport and volleyball is a team sport. So I started playing around 7th grade.
Great. Thank you so much, Rutuja. Arun, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Hi, Rutuja Didi.
Hi.
So my question to you is, what are the different tournaments that you have played and where?
Okay, my journey started in 7th standard, as I just told you. In 8th grade, I got selected for my first national level tournament, which was held in Chennai. And after that, I played almost, not almost, but 10 to 12 nationals, which were held in different states. Like some were held in Delhi, some were held in Northeast states, then some were held in Chennai, some were in Mangalore, Hyderabad. Literally almost all the major cities. Even some of the tournaments were held in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, and the one which I represented for India, the Asian Games, they were held in Thailand. Kanchanburi is the name of the place, which is near like the capital of the Thailand. So like yeah, I've played from many different states and many countries also.
Thank you for that, Rutuja. Rashmini, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi Rashmini.
I'm Rashmini. So, of all your accomplishments as a volleyball player, which accomplishment or match stands out to you and why?
Uh, the one which the one match for which I represented my country, like for India, the Asian Games, that stands out the most for me because I still remember that match. It has been like quite a few years from that match, but I since remember that when the match was going on at that moment, in that moment, I literally couldn't see anything and anybody else other than the ball and my game. I was not interested in what other people were saying and what other people were shouting at. They were cheering, they were shouting. I just can't remember. All I remember was I was on the court and I was looking at the ball. All my focus, all my concentration was on that game. So that is a moment I don't think I'll ever forget.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Rutuja. Kirti, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Good morning, Rituja ma'am.
Hi Kirti, good morning.
So I am Kirti. My question is, who was your inspiration to choose this sport?
When I started, I didn't knew much about this sport, like to have an inspiration or something like that. But all I knew was I have to work hard in order to just be able to play inside the team to make my space in that playing six. I knew I didn't had a role model, but I just wanted to play. So I don't have a role model. All I know is this: I have to focus and I have to concentrate. So I could be a role model to someone someday. That's only my goal. I don't have a role model or an inspiration. Yeah, there are many great players which are so much better than me, but I don't consider them as an inspiration because everyone has a different potential, a different goal in life. So you just cannot have the same goals or like have the same focus in your life as they have, as the conditions are different for everyone else. So basically, my role model kind of was my coach because he literally not forced me, but he grew me to like the sport a lot. So I in like look in awe at my coach.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you,
was
ma'am.
very insightful, Rutuja. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
And
you.
Avinash, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Avinash.
Question is, who were the strongest supporters in your?
My strongest two supporters, one of them was my mom, and the second one was my coach. Like they supported me during through all of my journey, like from the beginning to all the injuries to the end. Like it's not the end yet, but till now they have kept me supporting. But the biggest supporter you can have for you is your own self, because in moments where nobody can support you, the only person you can have your support is yourself. So just keep motivating yourself, be positive, and like keep pushing yourself until and unless you make it. Just keep pushing and keep motivating yourself. That is all that matters. If you keep trying, even if some days if you are not trying hard enough, it's all right, but you just have to keep trying. That is what is going to keep motivating you, and slow, day by day, you'll see the progress. So that is going to be enough motivation for you to continue pursuing that career or that sport. So yeah, my family and my friends were kind of lot supportive, but all that matters in the end is how much you want to do it and not how much other wants you to do it. So you have to grow liking about it, and you have to be like keep motivating yourself. That's it.
Yeah, that was really great, Rutuja, because if you want to become a software engineer and all of your family is supporting you to become a sports person, then that doesn't yield any result, right? So
Yes, yes.
it has to come from within, and it has to be in the person. Very well put. Thank
Yes,
you
it
so much.
has to be within yourself, and whatever you do, you need some people to support you and motivate you, because sometimes it's a human nature. We kind to tend of go on a negative track, but we need our friends and family and supporters to keep on a positive track and go ahead and just get motivated.
Right. So there's some interesting question ahead. Omkar, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Omkar.
So my question is, do you have any pre-game rituals that you do?
Uh, yes, I have some kind of pre-game rituals, which I can't basically call them rituals, but I like to do them before a match. Like on the days which I have the match scheduled, on those days I basically like to like wake up a little bit earlier than everyone, because it's a team game and most of the places we had to stay with our teams. So I used to like getting up before all of them, just going around and watching all the surroundings, the day, like getting soaked in the sun for just hardly 2 to 5 minutes, not much. But that used to like open up my mind to a greater perspective. And also just before the match, like 10 or 15 minutes before the match, I used to sit with my teammates, just sitting quietly and closing our eyes, and we used to meditate a bit, and we used to visualize. We had to envision our victory, and we had to envision our path to the victory, so that we would know if something goes wrong in a match, we have to stay calm and remember what we had the vision for, and then continue to work for it. So, like, to have a vision is very important. Even if you're playing a really small match or a match on a big level, it doesn't matter. What matters is you have to had a vision for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right.
Okay, you're welcome.
Great. I just have a small follow-up question on that, Rituja. So
Yes, yes, sure.
you have very interesting things that you're doing before the match, but is it the way that you do from the starting of your career, or how did you develop doing that, or what made you think in that way, right? So it might not be the same when you started your career, right?
The meditation before the match was not something which I got like from initially from the beginning, but the habit of getting up early was like from the first match itself, because I used to get so nervous because of the tournaments and all. I was like, it is my first time, because all of my friends started playing from the second or third grade. I started in the seventh, so they got used to all those tournaments. Even if they lose or win, it doesn't matter. What matters is experience. I was not experienced at that moment in the seventh grade, so I used to get kind of nervous. So the nervousness actually woke me up in the morning. So I found ways to just calm myself, focus, and then our coach taught us to meditate for like 5 minutes before the match. So that would really help us. The meditate and the vision thing and all of that.
Thank you so much for that, Rituja. Akanksha, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Hi Didi, good morning Didi.
Hi Kakansha, good morning.
What are the different challenges that you have faced to become an international volleyball player, Didi?
The basic challenge is not, I can say the basic, but the most common problem or challenge all the female players face is the society not letting them play in altogether they are like, you're a girl, you should not play, or basically you have to study, you cannot spare so much time playing, this is just a time pass, you just have to like study and study and study. So, and also some people from the society told my parents also ki your girl is not studying at all, or she's like just playing all the time, it is not right, what will people say. But what I really think is just don't care what people say, because people are always gonna say something. So just do what you want, do what you like, do it with all the passion and put your heart into it. Just do it. Doesn't matter what the challenges are. There challenges are many. Like even sometimes the in India, basically volleyball is an indoor sport, but India we do not have the proper grounds like indoor stadiums for them. So in India, volleyball matches are played outside, and and sometimes the matches used to go on from 9 a.m. to literally 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. and the whole day, like to play in the sun is really exhausting. So we had to keep up with that exhaustion and still continue to play. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, Didi. Thank you, Didi.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you also kind of answered our next question,
Okay,
Rutuja.
okay.
Abhimadhu, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Good morning, Didi.
Hi, good morning.
My name is Abhimanyu. My question is, did you face any gender bias while you are playing?
Yeah, like I said, I really face a lot of gender bias related to my career and my sports, and even now I still continue to face the gender bias because in India the opportunities for a female player and a male player are not on the same wavelength. Like male players are allowed or it's considered okay for them to play or choose a career in sport, but females are not considered like good or okay to pursue a future or as a career to the sport. So it is really difficult for the female players like to still continue to choose the sport as their career, as their profession. And it I hope it just um, like subsides really soon, because that is just too much gender biased. And also, one more thing I faced as a female player was people judging for me for playing, wearing shorts while playing and all, because it's a sport which requires a proper uniform, and the uniform has shorts and all the proper shoes and all. But all the people were like, your girl should not wear all the short clothes and things. So these things really pissed me off and made me angry, but then it was a game and we had to do it, and obviously if you're comfortable in it, just go for it.
Thank you, Didi, for
You're
answering.
welcome.
Right. Fatima, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Hi, Didi.
Hi, Fatima.
Why did you shift your career from sports to becoming a doctor, Didi?
uh, I basically did not shift like fully, but yeah, I kind of partially shifted because when I was in 12th grade, I got injured while playing at national level tournament in Mangalore, and over there I got a injury in my knee. So at that moment, what I saw was that in the whole premises of my tournament, in the like whole radius of 3 to 5 kilometers, there wasn't a single doctor who could literally cure me or like cure my knee or tell me something which a sports person should need. So then and there, I felt the need for the female sports doctors who are gonna help all those athletic peoples and all the sports women. in the career. So what I wanted to become was a sports medicine doctor who could literally help all the females, basically, because sometimes the girls, like mostly the people who play from rural parts of India, they are not comfortable with a male doctor treating them. So it happens a lot of times that they just don't go and get treated. So it kind of ends their career over there. So what I wanted was not like for them to not end their careers and choose playing like for a long time. Even if you're injured, yeah, I just wanted to cure them and just let them play. So I didn't shift my career. I still continue to play, but what I wanted to do was something good and something really useful for the all the female players. So I'm on a path to do that.
Thank you,
That's
Didi.
really inspirational, Rutuja,
You're
because
welcome.
a lot of people, uh, for because lack of sports is a very high intensity activity, and injuries are prone to happen, right, very
Yes,
frequently.
yes,
And a lot of young careers, budding careers, are getting destroyed because of lack of access to proper healthcare, proper sports healthcare. Right.
yes,
So yeah,
yes, exactly.
whatever you said perfectly makes sense, and we wish all the luck for your on all the best for your endeavor. So we want you
Thank you.
to serve as many people as possible and help them realize their dreams.
Yes.
Yeah, Sainath, could you please come off mute and ask your question? Yeah, I think Sainath has dropped from the call, Rutuja. I'll just ask his question. Can a
Okay, sure.
professional player like you earn well in a sport like volleyball?
Uh, the country which we live in, like for in India, it is not possible for me to earn as a same amount of money which other male players could be earning right now. It is not possible because the opportunities are not same. If a community or is organizing a tournament, then and there you can see the male awards, like the amount of money which the male players get is literally quite a lot more than what the female players get. It is literally seen on the banners and all of them, of the posters and banners of the tournaments. Like if you are a male, you'll get this is much money. If you're female, you'll get this is much money, amount of money. So it's not at all possible and practical to say that a female can earn the same amount of money in case of volleyball. uh, Even if she chooses it to be her career or her profession, it is not possible because it is not that much developed in India right now. But if you go out and to other countries, they literally have the same amount of pay to all the male and the female players. But in India, it is not practically possible right now. It can be made possible, but the government does not give the equal opportunities to both the players.
Yeah, just a follow-up question to that, Rutuja, and also you have partly answered that also, right? The role of government, as you rightly pointed out. So, what is the role of the Sports Authority of India, right, SAI, and what is the role of these bodies will be in maintaining this equal pay or gender parity? So, do they usually do anything towards that?
The Sports Authority of India usually chooses the upcoming players and they develop them, then they mold them into actual professional players. That is what their role can be seen right now as it is in. But in terms of money, the board still continues to fight. Even there are even female players on the board, but they still continue to fight for the equality in the amount of money and for the male and female opportunities. Because in many rural places in India, there are still some tournaments held and which are just for male counterparts. There are no female tournaments in the same sport. So the SAI, the Sports Authority of India, is like walking towards their goal to achieve that equality, but it will take some time and some uh, literally a lot of amount of time to change people's mentality that even girls can play and it is okay for them to compete against men or just be on the same ground with men. It is all right. So it will take a bit of time, but it will surely happen with so many people like playing and choosing sports as their career, and also Sports Authority of India helping them to do so. So the government is trying their best to do that, but it has not happened yet. It is on its way to happen.
Right, and you are playing your part in empowering the kids like our kids into
Yes,
into moving them into sport and changing their mindset. And thank you so much for that. And you are also
yes,
contributing to that.
yes, it's my pleasure.
Yeah. Gangajan, could you please come off mute and ask me a question?
Yes, Bhaiya. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, hello, Mangaju.
How do you feel when you get an injury and miss a match?
Um,
Yeah.
whenever
First
the
question:
moment
did that happen to you anytime?
yes, it happened to me a lot of times. I had two severe injuries in my career. Uh, the first time my injury happened, I had just started playing. I was around in ninth grade, and I got my first injury, my ankle sprained. But then it is important to just jump in volleyball in order to spike the ball. So the moment I got the injury, all at that moment, all I could think was I want to play again. I just looked up and everyone was playing, and all I knew was I want to play again. This injury should not stop me here. I wanted to play again. I wanted to go on the court, but as I was injured, my coach told me to just sit outside quietly and just wait for a while till the doctor arrives and just let them check you out. So yeah, I took some rest. I got some exercise therapy done and I came back. But the second time I got injured, it was quite severe and I had to take 3 months of bed rest. And after that, many people suggested me that I should not play as my injury was very serious, or I should get surgery done and just leave my sports because, yeah, that this is the end. But all in my mind I knew was I've put so much amount of time, so many amount of days, and so many evening practices and morning practices into my life that this injury should like just could not stop me and my heart from playing. I It took me almost a year to get up back from that injury, from all this therapy sessions, exercise therapy sessions, and all the my like preparing my mind to play again and not being scared of that injured part of my body, because it takes time for your body to adjust to play again on this on the same wavelength, because once you stop playing your like game deteriorates a little bit. So to get back onto that level to practice, you I had to try hard enough, like hard, twice as hard as lot enough, because what I had gained what experience, but the practice I still needed. So the injury is kind like stopped me for some time, but they couldn't stop me at all because I want to play. Even if some days I still get a pain from an injury or something, yeah, I take rest one or two, because rest is very important. You have to take rest, otherwise you are bound to get injured. So take proper rest. Just if you're injured, consult a doctor, just see what it says, get better, and then just get again it, because you have put so much of time and hard work that you cannot just let it go. I couldn't just let it go, all my hard work. So
Yeah, and physical recovery is one aspect, and the psychological recovery is also another aspect, right?
yes,
Whenever a sport, especially a sports person, is injured.
yes, because we tend to get psychologically depressed because we were not able to play for so much of time, and we are I'm a little bit scared then that will I be able to play? It has been so long. Like, will everyone take me in the team now? And will I be able to play with the same energy and the same stamina like I was playing before? Because if you don't practice, the stamina deteriorates. So I had to then again work hard to build up all the stamina which I had before. So yeah, it takes a kind of mental toll on your health. But if you are being positive and strong enough, it will happen. You will play again no matter what.
Thank you so much for that, Rutuja. And I just have a small follow-up question for this, Rutuja, because sports are a part and parcel of injuries are part and parcel of a sports person life, right? We cannot take them away. And so for budding
Yes.
sports persons like our students, right? So whenever they have some kind of small injury, they tend to go on with that, and it might increase their risk of exacerbating that, right? So what would you suggest
Yes,
to
yes.
students like our students?
So whichever sport they are playing, it doesn't matter as long as you like it. And if you are getting injured or some muscle or a part of your body is aching, just stop right there, see what is aching, and if you can treat it at your home, just treat it, take rest, because our mothers tend to know a lot. So they have kind of homemade remedies for them. So if you can cure yourself by that, just take a 2 to 3 days of rest, just recover, and then see if you can play again. But if then also you're not able to play again, then you need to really visit a doctor or a specialist for that injury and see what it says, see how much amount of time he wants you to take off the ground or the sport, and just listen to him. Because if you don't listen to the person who is suggesting the better for you, it's going to harm yourself only. It is not going to be the better thing if you are not listening to his advice. So if you are injured, don't continue to play or just stretch the injury only because you can play. If it's aching, just stop, take some rest, and then play again. Because
Thank
it
you
is in
so
Indian
much.
psychology that we do some things. We tend to stretch some things. Like if you're getting two, we tend to get three things out of a thing. But just don't do that while playing because it takes a toll on your body.
Yeah, that really makes sense, Rutuja. And if something serious happens at that point when we are stretching ourselves, right, then it might lead to a complete destruction of our career too, right? Where some serious
Yes,
injury might happen and we have to undergo a surgery, and it might take 5 or 6
yes,
months of bed rest. Thank you so
exactly.
much for that. Abrar, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Yes, Bhaiya. Good morning, Didi.
Good morning, Abrar.
How are you balancing your volleyball practice and your education, Didi?
Uh, Basically, over here we have a team, and my teammates like to play every day in the evening. So I have my clinic hours in the morning, and then I balance it with my playing time in the evening. I play 2 to 3 hours every day right now because we don't have any tournaments. So for practicing, that many hours are enough. So it is really not that difficult to balance because some people like to sleep when when they're tired. I just like to play when I'm tired, because not that tired but mentally tired, because it refreshes me and it kinds of boosts my energy to do all my daily things and chores on my daily basis. So it is not basically impossible or impractical to balance my profession and my passion.
Thank you, Didi.
Great.
Welcome.
And just a small follow-up question for that, Rutuja. So now you have the knowledge of how your body functions and how your body reacts to so many of these things, right? So did
Yes.
that change your approach towards game or approach towards how you push yourself in the game?
Yes, it changed my approach in a lot of ways because it made me calmer. It made me know the things I couldn't know just as a normal sports person. But now, as a doctor and having all of the knowledge about my body, I know where I have to stop and where I have to start because there's a limit you can push yourself. Now I know the limit that I don't have to push myself against it. Knowing your limit is very, very, very important because the moment you push that limit, something is going to like get to your body. It's going to harm you. It's going to injure you, either physically or mentally. Because sometimes if you lose a match or if you didn't perform quite well on some days, you don't. It's not that you perform. You have to perform well on each and every day. So on those days, it really gets the players like into a sad mood because you didn't perform well or you didn't win the match. So that is okay. It is human nature. I just grew into understanding that it is all right sometimes to lose and it is all right sometimes to win. What that matters is you really enjoy the game. You enjoy winning, you enjoy losing, you learn from your losses and then again enjoy and remember how you lost and then improvise that thing and then again continue to just enjoy the game and enjoy the moment and play. Really changed my perspective.
Thank you so much for that, Rutuja. Pawan, could you please come off mute and ask a question? I think Pawan is facing some network issues. I'll just ask his question,
Okay.
Rutuja. What does your
Yeah.
regular day look like?
My regular day looks like I wake up around 6:30 a.m. in the morning. I like to go for a run or a brisk walk in the morning because it just freshens you up and you get a little bit of sunlight and just watch all the birds chirping around. It is nice to have a run in the morning. So I go for running for about in half an hour or like some pre-decided kilometers, which I had like my target is set for the day. So I get up, go run, I do some stretches, some yoga in the morning. Sometimes I like to meditate. Sometimes, not every day, but sometimes I really like to meditate in the morning. Then I have my clinic hours in the morning, like from 3 to 4 hours in the morning. I have my clinic hours, then I have lunch, and in the afternoon, I like to read, either study or read some books, informative books about anything like life or some sports or some exercises or some uh, yoga books or some informative anything. I just like to read something in the afternoon because in afternoons you tend to get a little bit lazy because it's quite sunny here in India. So I don't have a habit of sleeping in the afternoon as it makes me lazy, a lot lazy. So I just like to do something. I like to do a little bit of art, like anything. It doesn't matter as long as you are doing it. A little bit of drawing, painting, or reading some things. And then in the afternoon I have my practice like around 2 to 3 hours every day. So I'll do my pre-game warm-up. I'll practice. We'll have a match because I have all my teammates over here. We have a 1 to 2 sets of the match, and then again we do the post-game stretches. Then basically, yeah, we have dinner, and that's it. That's my schedule for the most of the days.
Right, great. And you have also pitched in two very important points here, Rutuja. One is pre-game warm-up and one is the post-game stretches. Could you please
Yes.
explain our students the importance of both of those?
Yes. The pre-game warm-up and the post-game stretches are more important than your game right now, because our body is uh, so like relaxed and in so different positions all through that. We sit, we stand, we lay down, we like walk, we do so many things in the our whole day. But when we play, it is difficult for the body to adjust. So we need to do the pre-game warm up. Like we need to train our muscles or our body to get a little bit warmed up and get used to the things we are gonna do on the court that day, because the warm up exercise are so important that if you don't do them like for 1 or 2 days, your body is gonna ache the whole day after you play. The body will ache. So warm up and after game stretches are really important. If you need to prevent an injury, you need to stretch those muscles and stretch your body, because without stretching, the muscles or your body will just get sore. The soreness comes in, and then you're not able to play for the next 2 to 3 days. So if you need to keep that consistency of practicing every day going on, you need to do the pre-game warm-up and after-game stretches. You just cannot skip that part. You cannot.
Thank you so much for that, Rutuja.
Yes.
Abbas, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Yeah, Bhaiya. Hi, Didi.
Hi, hello.
I have a question for you. What are the few suggestions you will give for inspiring players like us?
Uh, I can't say suggestion, because all of you tend to like different things. Some might like art, some might like dance, some might like sports, some might like different sports other than volleyball. So all I could say is do whatever you like, and put you have to put a lot of time in practicing whatever you like or whatever you're playing, but keep practicing. If you're not getting the results, change the way you practice, but don't stop practicing. Change the way you do things, but don't stop doing them. So like if you are doing something, you're playing something, and if you're not getting the correct shot, just stop there and just have a vision like what you have to do. And if you're not getting the results, change the way you practice for it, change the amount of time, increase the duration. If you think you need more practice, if you think you need more rest, take a little bit of more rest, but just keep doing whatever you like and keep going in the right direction. And that's all.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you, Rutuja, for that. That's a really actionable suggestion, right? Any player
One more
can
thing I
actually do
would
that.
like to say, one more thing I would like to add. Uh, as we just start or pursuing a sport, we don't know if it is the right thing to do or not, because we are really of small age. In ninth and 10th grade, if someone asked me if this is the right thing to do, I didn't knew that. You don't know if it's the right thing or not. You start to know it's the right thing in the journey. If you start enjoying it, enjoying the journey is the right thing if you're doing. But if you're not enjoying the process, if you're not enjoying the journey, don't get demotivated. Just wait, look around. Like if you're climbing a mountain and if you get tired, you just don't go all the way down. You just wait there, look around all the hills and all the things, all the surroundings, all your friends, how they are cheering you up, all your family members. Just look around. Just don't get demotivated if you're not enjoying the process, because some you don't know right from the beginning if the things are right for you. So even if you feel that they're not right, just wait some time. Just look what you have in your life, count your blessings, and then again go on like practicing.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Rutuja. So very useful suggestions for our kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Akshita, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi,
So,
Akshita.
My question is, what is the impact of volleyball in your life?
The impact is so huge on my life. I don't know where I should begin from. First of all, it really made me a people person. I was very introvert in the beginning, around seventh grade, but after that, because as volleyball is a team sport, you need to talk to your teammates and all of your other like opponents. Also, you need to like talk to them, be friendly with them. But not even if not opponents, you have to talk to your teammates, the people around you, because it's a team game. And if there is no communication in between you guys, you're not definitely not going to win. So for that communication to happen, I gradually became a people person. Now I like to be with so many people, connect people, or like just talk to them, have conversations with them. It made me grow confident of my own self. Like whatever you are, whoever you are, just be confident and don't like it's okay if you are introvert in the beginning. It's all right because some people are introvert. Don't change yourself. But as in for volleyball, it changed me from being an introvert shy girl to a really confident person, like talking to you guys, all of you guys right now. And yeah.
Thank
Right.
you, ma'am.
Alim, could you please come off mute and ask your question? I think you have slightly answered this question as well.
Okay.
Hi, Didi.
Hi Ali.
My question is, one minute. What is your aim once you become a doctor?
As I mentioned before, my aim is to become a doctorate in sports medicine. As in right now in India, there are hardly any female doctors, like sports medicine doctors in India, which are like giving their support to all the female players. I hardly know of 3 or 4 female sports medicine doctors in India right now, and we really need so many of them because there are so many new upcoming sports and sport persons, sports women, and all of them are going to need proper care and they need proper people to tend to their bodies and their injuries. So all I had envisioned for myself was I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew what I wanted to do. That I wanted to help those people because I knew at my time nobody could help me at that moment. So I don't want the same thing happening to any other person in that moment. I wanted to help them. So yeah, I chose to become a sports medicine doctor as I wanted to help all the other female sportswomen in all the rural parts of India or anywhere in India. I just wanted to help them.
Great, and it's perfectly makes sense also. And even if we have few doctors, they are mostly concentrated with the cricket and BCCI, right? So they wouldn't be catering to other
Yes,
sports persons.
they don't have other doctors in any other sports except cricket. And also for cricket related to the girls cricket team, they have male doctors. There aren't enough female doctors on the team. Even for female players, they have male doctors. So I want to change that ratio of the male doctors to the female sports medicine doctors. Not the ratio, but I wanted to start the ratio because there isn't a ratio at all.
Yeah, makes sense, right? So at least it has to start somewhere, right?
Yes, it has to start somewhere. It has to start from within. It has to start here.
Yeah, great. Shivanath, could you please come off mute and ask your question? I think Shivanath can't hear us, so I'll just ask his question, Rutuja. When did you get the interest in trekking?
As I mentioned, my hometown is in Pune, Maharashtra. So around the city is literally placed in the valley, and we have all the hills surrounding the city. So during my practice times, in the morning practice times, my coach used to make us run on the hills to get the proper endurance and proper stamina to play. For if a match goes for 2 to 3 hours, we need that much stamina, because regularly we don't have that much stamina. If even if you go out for a run, you run for half or 1 an hour, that's it. But if you have to play 2 to 3 hours, you need that endurance training. So like we used to go and practice on the hills, like run all the way up and then over there do some endurance training. So gradually over there I started liking to go on hills, even if to just like go for an evening walk or a morning walk on Sundays. And then and there my interest began gradually increasing. Then I started like climbing up forts, because there are a lot of forts around my city. So I started climbing up forts. Like then we used to do competition. I used to do competition with my teammates. Like let's see who's going to reach the top of the fort first. We used to run all the way up, and the interest usually gradually started increasing. And then I there's an group called Sayadri Trekkers in around my city. So I knew some people over there. When I used to climb the mountains, I met on the way, because I used to see them every day climbing up and down and wearing all the same shirts. So I interacted with them, and I got to know, and I got to like go to a 17-hour trek with them. It starts midnight and ends on the next day. You have to continue trekking up and down on the mountains for 17 hours. But that is really, really fun to do if you like trekking.
Thank you so much for that, Rutuja. And we have one last question for our session today.
Yes.
Nitya, could you please come off mute and ask your question?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Nitya.
So my question is, why do you work with Jazz Hands Foundation? When did it start?
It started in around 2016, like 4 years back, when I got injured, and I got recovered from that injured, and I was getting up, I was pushing myself to get back again on my feet, to get all the practice, all the stamina which I had before. And there at like in between those one of those days, what I thought was I wanted to help some students, because in the government schools basically in all over India, the children are very poor, and they don't have the proper means or tools or books, we can say, to or the efficacy to learn the language, or the efficiency talk in that language in English. So uh, I joined the Jazz and Foundations because I wanted to help those children, those students. They were mostly third to fifth graders in the government schools, and we used to teach English through all the dramas and all the plays. So it was kind of good for my mental health also. Like we used to do all the plays and all the dramas and all the acting stuff. So it made me happy to work with them and teach all the students what there is. Not every knowledge lies in books. We can even learn many things from other than books, like drama, art, or sports. Like I just wanted to do something for the society and for the kids.
Thank you so much for that, Rutuja. And if one last question to finish off the
Yes.
session is, if you have to encompass your learnings into two or three things throughout your life, and
Okay.
what would those be?
uh, encompass as in what? I didn't get it.
Two or three broad things that you have learned from your life, or two or three broad things that you have realized from your life throughout the journey. What are the important things that we need to be taking care of?
Okay. Okay. It actually differs from a person to person, because the experiences an individual has gained is not going to be the same as me. The experiences are different. So what, to encompass the 2 or 3 important things which I've learned till now in my life, is first, like, don't be rude to people. Just be warm and be kind hearted, because being rude is not going to take you anywhere. It is not going to make you happy. At the end of the day, it is going to make you guilty. So just be kind to people, be kind to anyone. Then second is keep practicing, and just enjoy the moment you're practicing. Don't force yourself if you're not liking to practice. Some people like to play, some people like to read. It doesn't matter. What matters is you are enjoying the journey and you are practicing regularly. And third is on your. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Rutuja, but your video is stuck. Yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you were talking about keep practicing. We lost you there.
Okay. What I was saying is, the thing which I said earlier was, you have to enjoy the journey, you have to enjoy the process. Unless and until you don't enjoy the process, you can't be good in that thing. Because if you see all the good people, all the successful people, even if you ask them or interact with them, all they are gonna say is, this was my passion. It wasn't someone forced them to do that. If you have the passion, if you have the liking for it, then continue to practice and continue to be the best version of yourself in that sport or in that profession. It doesn't matter whichever you choose, because society tends to judge us for that if you are choosing arts career over science, the people will like, oh, there's no scope in this stream. But no, if you really like it, just go for it. It doesn't matter what people say. All that matters is what you like and what you do for it, and how you continue to do it on everyday basis.
Thank you so much, Rutuja, for those wonderful learnings of you, and so very well put all of your responses. And thank you so much for being with us and inspiring us. We really appreciate this.
Thank you.
And yeah, so okay, kids, so you can say bye to Didi so that she can leave now.
Bye, Didi.
Bye, Didi.
Bye, everyone. I really enjoyed all of the questions, and I hope we interact again. And I hope you start playing or just doing whatever you like.
Bye, Didi.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Didi.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.